it looks very, very good. Like, you see how that lace really melted with no effort? I just put the smallest amount to the point where I can still take this off at night and I won't have any damage to my hairline. So I'm really satisfied with how the lace is pre-plucked, pre-cut, and pre-bleached. So it really was a nice kind of like low maintenance wig in my opinion, and I do feel like this will be really beginner friendly for people who want to get into wigs. Everyone, it's me, Megs, and I am back with a personality unit. These have been coming through for me during my grow out hair journey, and I always love a bob. It's making me want to cut my hair again into a long bob. This one is by Nadula Hair. For wig storage, it came with this satin-like pouch. So this is a bob wig, y'all. This is a 12-inch, 100 in density unit, and it's a yaki straight bob. And so I always love yaki straight textures, especially when it comes to myself, because I feel like it looks the most natural. And this is a pre-cut, pre-bleached, and pre-plucked hairline lace closure, okay? Actually, no, it's not so much a lace closure. Yes, it is a lace closure. It's a 7x5 lace closure. And it also comes with this elastic adjustable band as well. And there aren't really combs with this unit. There is one comb at the nape. And it also does have adjustable straps at the nape area. But I do really like that this wig did not have combs at the top, because this allows it to lay really nice and flat there. And so what I also really appreciate about this is that the knots are really nice and small, and that it's pre-cut, and it's really nice and thin. So when I say thin, the closure itself isn't bulky or anything. I do like that. So I feel like this would be great for beginners. And so to kind of like get my closure wig to be a little more custom to my liking, I like to put foundation on my closure area that matches my skin tone, because, you know, I'm a darker complexion and sometimes this lace can give a little flashback. And so I notice with applying some foundation tends to help with that. So this is a 7x5 lace closure, and I have quite a bit of parting space that I can play with that I do like about this wig, and it looks really natural as far as the parting space that I do have right now with the added foundation. So I do like that. So like I said before, this is yaki straight texture. I love a yaki straight texture because I feel like it looks the most natural, and I really feel like this cut was really nice and neat. So I'm kind of like just checking, making sure everything is nice and even and a nice blunt cut. On my units, I like using the Kara Care Silk and Seal when I know I'm going to be pin straightening my unit. So I just did a light misting of this spray, heat protected, on my unit, and I am going to use this KQC flat iron on 100, no, actually I think I put this on 450 degrees, and I'm using the chase method. So with this unit, I noticed that it was super easy to flat iron. It got straight to the point, and I love the color of this unit. It's really nice and dark, so it looks so natural as I'm flat ironing this, and I'm noticing that I'm really liking this. It's really nice and lightweight with 150 density, especially in hotter months and things like that. So once it's all flat ironed, I like to bump the ends with a slight bend, not too much of a bump though, because you don't want it to look like, you know, doing too much. So to get the top nice and flat, I'm going to use a hot comb on 500 degrees, and I like using this Paul Mitchell Firm Style hairspray. Talk about super hold, and it's not moving. So I like to go in the closure area and part it, and spray some of that spray and hot comb that down, just to make sure that hair in the closure area lays really nice and flat. And I've been doing this kind of method for many years now, and it's been working out pretty well for me. So I'm just going to continue to do that just at the root area of the closure, just to make sure it's nice and flat, and boom, it's giving neat, it's giving realistic and scalp, even on this wig head. So with my hot comb being on 500 degrees, I feel like that tends to work the best for me. I do this with all of my units, no matter matter if it's the center part or if it's a side part. I just noticed that it works really well. And I really love kinky straight textures because when I do flat iron this hair, it doesn't revert back oftentimes. And it's just easy to wear. You just kind of like put it on and go. So I really love doing this extra step just to make sure it looks really nice and realistic and lays nice and flat on my head, because that's the whole key to it all. I want it to look very natural and not kind of like really high up on my head, if you know what I mean, you know. So taking this extra step definitely is worth it. And so I learned this probably over 10 years ago. With closures, when closures became a thing 10 years ago, using the flat iron and just kind of like running it over the whole entire closure. And this gives me a really nice flat appearance, but of course be careful with the heat temperatures depending on the kind of wig you have. I've never had a problem with doing this to any of my wigs. So I also like to apply a little bit of the Olaplex number 7 to my wigs, just a few drops, really warm it up in my hands and apply it to the top area of my wig, that closure area, to kind of like get rid of some of that hairspray look at the top, you know what I mean? So it just adds some really nice shine. It's more of a dry oil, so it doesn't really weigh the hair down on the wig. So I just like to do that just to get rid of that hairspray look on the top and any flyaways that I may have. But with this unit, I didn't have any flyaways, so it turned out perfect at the top area. So I am going to go in with some Sebastian Shaper Plus, which is my favorite, kind of like a light hold hairspray, but still gets the job done. And I like to spray this on my comb and kind of like run it through the hair just to get rid of any additional flyaways and kind of keep everything nice and tame. So boom, that is how the closure area is looking, nice and neat. And I am going to apply some concealer to the line, not the line, the parting area there. This is, I use NC45, the MAC Studio Fix Concealer, because it's nice and thick and it goes really well with my skin tone because I use this makeup on my face, so it just really meshes really well with the closure and lace area. And I like to tighten up the parting area so it won't be as Grand Canyon-y. So I'm just using a little bit of eyeshadow, some black eyeshadow, and a flat brush to get that line nice and straight. So I just kind of take my time and do this, and boom, it is pretty much done. I do like to also apply a little bit of the foundation to my wig cap. I don't glue my wigs down, so this works pretty well for me. But you know, if you are a bald cap method girly, definitely feel free to do this. I think it would really slay. But you know, I like to tend to my hair nightly, so I take my wigs off every night so I can, you know, moisturize that seal. So far, I was really feeling how this unit was looking. I just have to adjust it, make sure it fits. And what I will say with this unit, I did notice it was a little big because with this unit, you should be able to go glueless with this. But I had a little bit of kind of like room towards the front near the closure area to where I wouldn't be able to go 100% glueless with this one, just because the lace was, you know, a bit lifted from my skin. So I'm gonna have to apply just a little bit of glue later on. So I always like to kind of like hot comb my closure area just to make sure that looks really nice and neat. I like to push it backwards so you can see that hairline, and so far I'm really satisfied with the hairline, and I really like that it's pre-cut lace. I do appreciate that. So this is kind of like the extra step that I do to make sure that my wigs lay really nice and flat, and especially now that I'm going to apply just a little bit of glue to get the closure lace area to lay nice and flat. So I am going to apply a little bit more of well, not a little bit more. I'm going to take my foundation brush too and kind of like tap the edges of the lace closure with the remaining product from the foundation that we use with this brush. And I'm just going to go ahead and tap that whenever, girl, when you going to start? Right now. So as you can see, it wasn't laying very flat, but once I start to put the makeup on it, it starts to kind of like blend in a little bit more. But I definitely wouldn't be able to go glueless with this one just because I would be a bit clockable right now, like, ooh, your lace ain't really laying. So I just put a little bit of the olive oil lace spray from ORS, which is my favorite lace spray. It works really well. So I'm only applying the smallest amount. I'm really not trying to melt it too much. I just wanted the lace to lay nice and flat against my skin. So it didn't really require a lot of prep or a lot of, melting, like, ooh, you really got to melt this down. It's just put a little bit of glue, put the lace melting band on, let that sit for about 10 minutes, apply a little pressure, and it will work out real cute. So I'm really feeling this unit so far. I really love bob units because I've been in a bob with my real hair for a few years now, and I feel like this looks extremely natural and like my hair as far as the length and density goes. I really love that the density isn't too full and it looks very realistic with this being 150 density. I will say for myself, after wearing this a few times, I think I'm going to trim this bob just a little bit shorter to get it to be a little more blunt, but so far I do like how it came. It looks very, very good. Like, you see how that lace really melted with no effort. I just put the smallest amounts to the point where I can still take this off at night and I won't have any damage to my hairline. So I'm really satisfied with how the lace is pre-plucked, pre-cut, and pre-bleached. So it really was a nice kind of like low maintenance wig in my opinion, and I do feel like this would be really beginner friendly for people who want to get into wigs but don't want to overwhelm themselves with the whole wig maintenance and wig install. So this was super easy. So as you can see, I think my preference of this wig, I would cut this a little bit more just to get those ends to be a little bit more blunt in the front. But overall, I'm really loving the texture of this unit. I love the kind of like yaki and kinky kind of straight textures, especially when it comes to wigs that I want to wear straight. It's so good. And I'm loving how neat the cut is. It looks so good and so natural. I feel like this looks like my hair. I'm about to get my hair cut, y'all. So I'll be doing videos on that too. It just looks really natural. It looks like my hair. So the cut is really nice and neat. It's straight to the point. I feel like this is a cute all-purpose unit that you could wear to work. You could wear out and about on the town. And I really do feel like it's beginner friendly, or just friendly for anyone who doesn't want to spend a lot of time installing a wig. So I was really feeling myself in this long bob. It's super cute. I guess I can really say more. This it gives more shoulder length hair. Super cute. I love it. So I give this an A+. Okay, I'm loving this unit by Nadula Hair. So all information about this unit will be down in the description below. And also, look at the swing. Okay, it's very lightweight, very easy, not heavy, and not uncomfortable. Nadula.